Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. I have some Thanksgiving projects for you today. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the bell to be notified when I post new videos, and a thumbs up is very much appreciated. Look where I went today. I had to try to find some driftwood for one of these projects, and I did find some driftwood. Probably not enough, but I definitely enjoyed the view while I was there, and I wanted to share it with you. Okay, our first Thanksgiving project is going to be a little tray with a thankful on it. I got that little MDF thankful at the Dollar Tree. And then I got this great wicker tray at the thrift store. Our thrift store just had a 50% off all home decor the other day. So I was able to snag that tray for $1.50. So great deal. And I thought it would be a great tray for Thanksgiving. Now I'm going to make some more of my own homemade chalk paint, and the recipe is 2.5 teaspoons of calcium carbonate. I'll post the link below for that. I get it on Amazon, a tablespoon of water, and then a 2-ounce bottle of acrylic paint. And I'm going to use this beautiful turquoise color that I get at Target, and I'm going to mix that up. I had a little bit left over from the last project and the brush, and I just stored it for the past 2 days in a Ziploc bag, and it is doing good. So the first thing I'm going to do is tape off the little wicker area on my tray with some painter's tape. This is the painter's tape from the Dollar Tree. It did bleed a little bit. I probably should have used some better painter's tape, but that's okay. And my plan is I want to make this tray a little bit coastal, of course, you know me. And so I love the little wicker part in the middle, so I thought I would leave that like the tan color that it is. That's a great beachy color. But for the wood frame of the little tray, I thought I would paint it this beautiful color of turquoise. It really reminds me of the ocean on a sunny day when it's all very blue and tropical. And so I'm just gonna paint the areas of the tray that you can see there. And I'm also going to go ahead and paint the little handles too, and the little ties that tie them together. And I did this because I really wanted to brighten it up. I thought about making the thankful the blue color, but I thought that it wouldn't pop as much as it would on the tray. Now, originally I was thinking a basket for this project, but when I saw this tray, I knew it. I had to have it. So always look at your thrift stores, garage sales, stuff like that. You never know what you're gonna find, but this tray was perfect for this Dollar Tree DIY. So it did take 2 coats of my chalk paint, and I absolutely love this homemade chalk paint that I'm making. It works really well. It's very inexpensive, and you can't beat that. It's very easy to make as well. So 2 coats gives me pretty good coverage on that tray, and then I can start working on my little thankful MDF board. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to mix some more homemade chalk paint, 2.5 teaspoons of calcium carbonate, 1 tablespoon of water, and 2 ounces of ivory acrylic paint. And this is very equivalent to the chalk paint by Waverly, the ivory that I used from Walmart. Now, this little thankful did take a lot of painting. If you just painted the front, it would be super easy. But if you get itty on the sides and you have to paint the sides, like, it's kind of hard to get, even with a brush, to get down in between all the little nooks and crannies on there to get good coverage. But I just take my time and I just work around the entire outside perimeter of the little thankful board, and then once I get that, I go in and do the little spots in between the letters as well, so that I can have really good coverage on this thankful. I thought that if I painted this white or ivory, it would really pop against that tray, and I plan to attach that to our little Thanksgiving tray and display that on its side. Thank you so much for voting in my recent poll. You guys asked for Thanksgiving decorations, and so you ask and you shall receive. So here we go. My first Thanksgiving projects. Once I got all of the sides of that painted, I do go over just with 1 more coat on the front to make sure that none of the brown of the MDF is showing through. Follow that up with a little skewer to make sure I have no drips. And you know your girl likes to distress things. So I'm going to use a dry brush and some of that ivory chalk paint that we made and do a very light distress all over all of the turquoise areas of our tray. And that's going to give me a nice little subtle coastal feel. And tie it in with the ivory on the thankful sign. And I just give a very light distress. So I didn't even have to follow it up with a baby wipe in most places, only if I got a little bit too much in an area. And the blue is dry, so we can remove the painter's tape. And you'll see I did have a little bleeding in the corners. So I just go in there with like a Lysol wipe and just scrub. The tray itself was dirty from being from the thrift store, and so I had to clean that anyway, so might as well. And I absolutely love how this project turned out. I think it's so fun. You know, I love to bring my coastal colors into all projects, even Thanksgiving. So I'm going to attach that thankful to our little sign with hot glue. And I kind of do like any of the big letters, anywhere where I can find a substantial area, to pop some hot glue. And I'm just going to glue that on. I'm going to try to get it straight. And isn't that cute? I love it. I love it. I love it. It's exactly what I had envisioned in my mind. Now, once I get it all on there, you know, your girl has to distress. So I use a dry brush and some antique wax by Waverly. And I mean, I'm doing a very, 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 very subtle distress on my ivory, and then following that up with a baby white just to give it a little bit more of a coastal feel. And I love these colors together. I think it's so pretty. I think this will be my theme for Thanksgiving: the blue, the ivory, and the brown. There we go. It's all done. Okay, here's our next project. It's a little turkey from the Dollar Tree, and I want to cover it in driftwood. I want to make a driftwood turkey. Now, you'll see that the driftwood there on the left, that is all the matching driftwood that I was able to find at the beach today, which is probably not going to be able to cut it, but I have a backup plan. Now, the first thing I'm doing is staining my little turkey from the Dollar Tree all over with antique wax by Waverly, because any areas that don't have the driftwood on it, I want it to kind of match with the driftwood and not stand out so much. So that's what I found, and I'm like, that's not going to cut it. But I did find some driftwood on Amazon, and I will post a link below to the driftwood that I got on Amazon. It is great. It's a little bit better condition than my driftwood, my actual driftwood from the beach. And so I'm just it's kind of like a puzzle. I'm just kind of figuring out how many pieces that we need for each feather on our little turkey, and kind of laying that out like that. I don't really like how the turkey is darker color, and it kind of is obvious that that's not driftwood behind the driftwood when I lay it out like that. So what I do is I go ahead and push this off to the side in order so I remember how to put that puzzle back together. And then I'm going over the whole thing with some ivory chalk paint and trying to make that a lighter stain. So then I follow that up with a baby wipe, and look at this beautiful color that I get. It's very driftwood. And I did get some antique wax on the back of my turkey, so I did go in and stain the back as well, just to make it look more like a finished piece. Okay guys, it's time to start adding driftwood to our turkey, and I'm just attaching that driftwood to each one of our feathers on our turkey with a little bit of hot glue. I'm trying to not use too much hot glue because I don't want you to be able to see the hot glue. I want you to be able to see the driftwood. This project, I envisioned it in my mind, and I love it. It's so cute. I can't wait for my family to see it today. I think they're really going to like it and get a kick out of it. So I got my first row of feathers on my turkey glued on. And then I was thinking, you know, I think I need a second layer of feathers. So I start using pieces of driftwood all over my turkey, and I'm not filling in every gap. I'm just kind of filling it in, again, like a puzzle, what will fit where, and kind of fill that in a little bit and make my turkey look like he has lots of feathers. And then when I hot glue these on, I'm just making sure I get a lot of hot glue there at the bottom that's going to be on the turkey, and then a little bit of hot glue on the end that's going to be touching the next driftwood piece, so that both ends are glued down. I don't want this to fall apart. And I don't want to use all my driftwood. I think I used maybe half, maybe a little bit more than half, because I want to be able to save that for another project as well. So I think that's pretty good coverage. What do you guys think? And then for my turkey, I thought I would use these little blue pebbles from the Dollar Tree. And some of this tacky glue. If you've watched my fall videos, you've seen that I've made a pumpkin like this, and I love how it turned out, so I thought I could try to recreate that with my turkey. I'm doing a very thick layer of the tacky glue. I get that at the Dollar Tree, and I like the tacky glue because it's very thick, and you need a thick glue for this. Then I'm going to sprinkle those light blue pebbles all over. I love this color. I think it's very coastal, very beachy, and it's going to make us have a very colorful little turkey. Down there at the bottom, there was a gap between its legs, and when I fill it in with rocks, you can't really tell anymore, but that's okay. I think it probably needs to be all filled in so it stays together. Then I spray it with a couple coats of the spray adhesive, the multi-purpose glue from the Dollar Tree, and I dry this forever. I wanted to get this project done in one night, and so I didn't have the patience to let it sit overnight like I probably should have. And there's a few gaps along the edges where there are no stones, so I fill that in with some more of that tacky glue, and then I go back in with some more of those little blue pebbles and fill that in. My Dollar Tree has the blue pebbles, and a lot of times they have like the grayish black ones and like the ivory colored ones. I love these, and you get so many in a bag, and they're great for projects like that. So once I get my little repair job on there, I do another coat of glue, and then I dry it forever again because it was really wet and I really wanted my rocks to stay on there. But I'm starting to think about how I'm going to make this little guy stand up. I'm going to use one of these giant Jenga blocks from Five Below. Use whatever you've got. It just needs to be something, a piece of wood, a block of wood that's kind of heavy. If you have the mini Jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree, you can just glue them together. And I didn't know if this was going to be heavy enough because the turkey was pretty heavy, but it actually worked really well. But the turkey legs are skinny. You might be able to see it, so I'm going to stain it all over with some more of that antique wax by Waverly, just to kind of make it blend in more with our little driftwood turkey. And once I get that antique wax on there, I just wipe off the excess with a paper towel. Easy peasy. And dry it some more, and then I'm going to hot glue that onto the back. I make the tail kind of hit the ground and the feet hit the ground, and I glue that on with just hot glue, and it worked perfectly. And oh my gosh, this little turkey is so stinking cute. I absolutely love him. Look at him. So stinking cute. Okay, here's our last DIY today. It's an Always Be Thankful planter. I got this little pot at the Dollar Tree, of course, and it says Always Be Thankful, and it's that beautiful ivory color, but I thought I could give it a little bit of a coastal makeover. So I am just cutting out some Dollar Tree rope the size of the top and the bottom of the pot. It's a little frayed, so I'm going in with the lighter first because I don't think I can do it later and burning off any excess fibers. And then I'm simply going to hot glue around this Always Be Thankful with that rope. It's got a little fall leaf on there too. It's super cute. I think that this is going to give it a little bit more of a coastal vibe though, having the rope around, and it goes with our color scheme today. I want to do that blue, ivory, and brown. So you'll see I've picked out a couple of flowers from the Dollar Tree that are those beautiful blue colors of the ocean. And I'm just doing the same thing along the top of the pot, hot gluing the rope all the way around. This project was absolutely so easy to put together. And who says that you can't have blue flowers for Thanksgiving? Not me. Okay, so I'm just going to fill it in with some spare pieces of foam I have from the Dollar Tree. And I put a circular one on top. And then I am going to cover that with some Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree. until you can't see all of my foam down inside. And then I'm going to take my little blue flowers from the Dollar Tree and decorate my little flower pot. That is the kind they are. I think I was a little fast on that one. I really liked the color of the little blue daisies. These are the perfect shade for what I've made today, but I only had one package of them, and I didn't think that would be quite enough. But I cut them off with my little floral scissors from the Dollar Tree and kind of arranged them all over my little pot. I do end up hot gluing the bottom down just because it was kind of all over the place. And then to fill up any of the gaps, I'm going to use some of this lighter. This is more of like a blue-green. But anytime I see blue flowers at the Dollar Tree, I pick them up because I love blue. It's my favorite color. So I am just kind of scattering those in there, and we're going to have a mixture of blues just like at the ocean. And just filling those in there until I have a full pot. And that's all there is to this Thanksgiving DIY. Easy peasy. Okay, you guys ready for the final reveal? Here's how it looks on my shelves. Here is our thankful tray. I love it. I just displayed it with some white real pumpkins from the grocery store. Some little mini pumpkins, and I think they look great with it. Here's our Driftwood Turkey with the blue pebbles. I think this project is so much fun and so unique. I absolutely love it. I would totally encourage you to try it. I can't believe that that turkey was from the Dollar Tree. For real. And here's our Always Be Thankful little planter with the blue flowers, just like the ocean. All I did was wrap it with some rope to give it a coastal feel, and it is so pretty, and it looks great sitting next to my little Driftwood turkey. And then this is what it all looks like together. I love it. I love Thanksgiving at the beach, and I hope you love it too. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. Share it with your friends. And I will catch you next time. Until next time,